What if peace at home had nothing to do with perfection and everything to do with presence? Welcome to Our Stressless Home, where we will learn how to create homes that breathe space, invite the spirit, and nurture both learning and faith. I'm Markell, a professional organizer, recovering perfectionist, and receiver of God's grace. After years of chasing productivity and fighting overwhelm, I discovered that a stressless home isn't one without mess. It's one where our hearts are centered in the Lord and our focus rests in this moment. This podcast was born from both struggle and grace. I know what it's like to feel like you're drowning in to-do lists, laundry piles, and expectations, trying to hold your home, your faith, and your family together. For years, I thought the solution was better systems or tighter schedules or more self-discipline. But when life broke me open through motherhood, illness, and learning to rebuild from the inside out, I realized that order without peace is still chaos. What I needed wasn't control. I needed connection, true connection to God and to myself. Everything in Our Stressless Home is rooted in the scriptures from Doctrine and Covenants 88, 118 through 120. It's the heartbeat of this podcast and the scriptural foundation I will return to again and again. Now I see that a truly stressless home begins within. It's the quiet strength that grows when we seek learning by study and also by faith. It's found when we organize ourselves, prepare every needful thing, and build a house of prayer, a house of learning, a house of order, a house of God. Each episode of Our Stressless Home is an invitation to slow down, to rediscover what God intended our homes to be, sacred places of learning, growth, and rest. I'll share spiritual insights from scripture and stories from my own life, along with lessons from books I'm reading and principles of organization and intentional living. Whether we're talking about decluttering a closet, resetting a morning routine, or learning how to let go of perfectionism, every conversation points back to this one question: how can we make our homes reflect heaven? Here, we'll talk about the real stuff of life, about motherhood, faith, minimalism, mindset, and what it means to live intentionally in a world that constantly pulls our attention away from what matters most. We'll learn to find God in the small, ordinary moments, because that's where peace begins. We'll explore the beauty of simplicity, the power of surrender, and the sacred rhythm that happens when home becomes a place of both study and faith. This isn't a podcast about having the perfect home. It's about having a purposeful one, a home that feels like an exhale after a long day, a space where love feels easy, peace feels possible, and the spirit feels welcome. Because when we prepare our hearts and homes in the name of the Lord, our daily living becomes an act of worship. Our comings and our goings, our routines and our relationships all become part of something holy. So take a deep breath, friend. You're not behind and you're not alone. There's no such thing as a perfect home, only a present one. Together, we'll clear the clutter in your mind and your home and create spaces that reflect who we're becoming, not just what we're managing. This is Our Stressless Home, where we seek wisdom by study and by faith, where order and grace meet, and where peace begins in this very moment. Because stressless doesn't mean spotless, it means sacred.